The 1990s were a golden age for knockouts. When power punchers roamed every division, legends were forged in violence, and one punch could change a legacy. From the thunderous hook that launched Terry Norris to stardom, to George Foreman's miracle in the 10th round, to the bone-rattling chaos of Arturo Gatti, these weren't just finishes. They were moments that shook boxing to its core. Whether it was Olympic glory, redemption, or a desperate comeback in the championship rounds, these knockouts defined an era fueled by danger, drama, and raw firepower. This is the 1990s, 10 years of brutal brilliance. (1989) Michael Nunn KOs Sumbu Kalambay. It was supposed to be a technical showcase. Michael Nunn, the undefeated IBF middleweight champion, taking on WBA title holder Sumbu Kalambay, a defensive wizard who had never been stopped. But Nunn had no intention of going 12 rounds. Just 88 seconds into round one, he fired a lightning-fast straight left that landed flush and folded Kalambay like a chair. Out cold. No count. No debate. It was the fastest knockout in a world middleweight title fight, and a moment that announced Michael Nunn as a true force in boxing's most storied division. One punch, one round, statement made. 1990, Terry Norris KOs John Mugabi. The vacant WBC junior middleweight title was up for grabs, and all eyes were on John the Beast Mugabi, a brutal knockout artist known for flattening opponents with pure violence. But Terry Norris came in younger, faster, and hungrier. Just 1 minute and 34 seconds into round one, Norris landed a perfectly timed right hand that dropped Mugabi like a sack of bricks. It was a passing of the torch. The Beast was done, and Terry Norris had just announced the arrival of a new era at 154 pounds, with one of the cleanest single-shot finishes of the decade. 1992, Morris East KOs Akinobu Hiranaka. At just 19 years old, Morris East traveled to Tokyo as a massive underdog to challenge the WBA junior welterweight champion Akinobu Hiranaka, a feared puncher who had just destroyed Edwin Rosario in one round. East survived Hiranaka's early storm, staying composed and landing smart counters through the middle rounds. Then in round 11, he landed a perfect straight left that spun Hiranaka mid-air and sent him collapsing to the mat. The count was academic. East became the youngest Filipino world champion in history, on foreign soil, no less, with a moment of pure lightning in the championship rounds. (1992) Kennedy McKinney KOs Welcome Ncita. Kennedy McKinney, the 1988 Olympic gold medalist, was down on the cards against undefeated IBF super bantamweight champion Welcome Ncita. Ncita's speed and slickness had him in control, but McKinney was biding his time. In round 11, he found his opening and uncorked a perfect counter right that sent Ncita crashing to the canvas. He wasn't beating the count. Just like that, McKinney flipped the script with one punch. It was a championship-level chess match that ended in checkmate. A tactical war turned into a knockout of the year stunner. 1993, Gerald McClellan TKOs Julian Jackson. It was billed as a puncher's paradise. Gerald McClellan versus Julian the Hawk Jackson for the WBC middleweight title. Jackson was already a knockout legend with terrifying one-punch power, but McClellan didn't flinch. For 5 violent rounds, both men traded thunder, until McClellan unleashed a relentless barrage in round 5 that left Jackson dazed, pinned to the ropes, and defenseless. The ref stepped in, and a new KO king was crowned. McClellan hadn't just beaten Jackson. He'd taken the crown by force in a shootout that lived up to every ounce of its hype. 1994. George Foreman KOs Michael Moorer. This wasn't just a fight, it was a resurrection. At 45 years old, George Foreman was supposed to be too old, too slow, and outgunned by 26-year-old heavyweight champ Michael Moorer. Through 9 rounds, Moorer picked him apart until round 10. Foreman walked him down, then dropped the hammer, a straight right hand to the chin that floored Moorer flat on his back. The ref counted 10. Foreman, 20 years after losing his title, was heavyweight champion once again, the oldest in history. It was destiny, power, and history all packed into one legendary right hand. (1995) Julio César Vásquez KOs Carl Daniels. Carl Daniels boxed brilliantly for 10 rounds using slick footwork and crisp combinations to outpoint the rugged WBA junior middleweight champ Julio César Vásquez. But in round 11, Daniels got too comfortable, and Vásquez made him pay. With one brutal left hand, the Argentine southpaw shut the lights off. Daniels collapsed, stunned, unconscious, and unable to continue. It was a complete reversal, a come-from-behind stunner that reminded everyone why you never coast against a puncher. One moment of complacency, and Vásquez took back his belt with authority. 1996. Wilfredo Vásquez KOs Eloy Rojas. For 10 rounds, Venezuelan champion Eloy Rojas had everything going his way, peppering Wilfredo Vásquez with clean shots and piling up points on the scorecards in their WBA featherweight title clash. But Vásquez, a 3-division Puerto Rican champion, stayed composed. Then in round 11, he uncorked a devastating left hook that dropped Rojas hard and shifted the momentum in one violent instant. Rojas tried to beat the count, but his legs betrayed him. It was a stunning comeback KO. Classic Vásquez, late round danger, veteran poise, and knockout power when it mattered most. 1997. Arturo Gatti KOs Gabriel Ruelas. Arturo Gatti and Gabriel Ruelas gave fans 5 rounds of absolute warfare. Both men hurt, both bleeding, both refusing to back down. But Gatti had one more weapon to unleash. In round 5, with Ruelas walking forward, Gatti launched a signature left hook that landed flush on the jaw. Ruelas crumpled to the mat, his body broken, his will gone. The ref waved it off. This wasn't just a knockout, it was an exclamation point in one of the decade's best slugfests. A fan favorite had delivered again, in brutal and beautiful Gatti fashion. 1998, Roy Jones Jr. KOs Virgil Hill. Virgil Hill had never been knocked out, not once in over a decade at the top. But when he faced Roy Jones Jr. in a WBA light heavyweight title fight, history met speed and precision. In round 4, Jones dipped, shifted, and blasted a left hook to Hill's ribcage so sharp it snapped a rib on contact. Hill dropped to one knee, grimacing, unable to continue. No headshot, no wild flurry. Just one body punch so devastating, it made highlight reels for years. It was a masterclass in timing, proof that Jones wasn't just flashy, he was lethal. 1999. Derrick Jefferson KOs Maurice Harris. It was a heavyweight brawl on HBO's Boxing After Dark, a wild, unpredictable slugfest between Derrick Jefferson and Maurice Harris. Both fighters hit the canvas in a chaotic back and forth. Then in round 6, Jefferson ended the madness with a left hook from hell. It landed clean, and Harris went down like a felled tree, completely unconscious before he hit the canvas. Jim Lampley's scream, "It's over! It's over!" became part of boxing folklore. This wasn't a title fight. It was pure, unfiltered heavyweight drama, and one of the most unforgettable knockouts of the 90s.
None
The 90s didn't believe in safety. First, these knockouts proved that even in the final seconds, underdogs could rise, veterans could strike gold, and the tide could turn with a single punch. They weren't just highlights, they were historical turning points. From McClellan's ferocity to Roy Jones Jr.'s surgical destruction, these were the finishes that made fans jump out of their seats and fighters immortal. And if you think the decade hit hard, just wait until you see who took over next. The knockout legacy was just getting warmed up,